What's up, guys? Flash Frame here. And I'm coming to you today with a MechWarrior video. It's been a while. I don't play quite as much as I used to, which is fine. I mean, I've been playing this game for almost 5 years now, so you know, in that time, playtime diminishes and whatnot. But yeah, today I woke up and happened to go on the MechWarrior Online forums, as I do. I'm fairly active on the forums. Because I've been eagerly awaiting the coming skill tree change. For those of you who have been with MechWarrior or have checked out MechWarrior Online for any length of time, you know that the current skill system as implemented, which I will go into now, essentially your skills in a mech. Well, let me roll it back here. So all mechs have a base performance. You can then go into the skill trees and the mech trees to enhance the performance of a specific chassis. So let's say, for instance, I bought a Shadowhawk. Okay, let's say the Shadowhawk Grey Death. Now, if I just bought the Shadowhawk Grey Death right now and hadn't invested into the tree, I would have to unlock basics. And I would be able to do that. These efficiencies give you a 7.5% heat dissipation for Cool Run, for instance. Okay. Now, if the only Shadowhawk I owned was the Grey Death, all I would be able to unlock are these basic tiers. In the current system, to master a Shadowhawk, any chassis, but I'm going to use Shadowhawk as an example. In order to master my Grey Death, I would have to buy a minimum of 2 other variants. Now, this isn't the worst thing in the world. To be fair, it's not. The game's been like this literally since inception. So it's kind of a whatever situation. That's how it's been. You buy 3 mechs. You generally end up with 1 to 2 chassis you don't care for, but you grind through and you level them up anyway, because how else are you going to master the one you do like? Well, PGI has heard... Oh, excuse me. PGI has heard a lot about this over the years. It's literally been like this since closed beta. So PGI decides, alright, we're going to finally do something about it. We're going to introduce a new skill tree. And with good reason. Because the current mech tree system has a couple of problems. First and foremost, 3 mechs to master the one you want. you have to basic 3 before you can go to elite and master. That doesn't sound so bad. And it's really not. Until you start factoring in cost. Because you have to factor in the cost of those additional 2 mechs minimum on top of what you wanted to master in the first place. So you're looking at multi-millions of C-bills, which is the in-game currency, just to master maybe 1 mech that you wanted. On top of that, there's also modules. Now, modules require that you invest in the pilot tree. Invest GXP into the pilot tree to unlock these modules, which give you essentially special equipment that you can equip to the mech to do different things. For instance, extend the range of Inner Sphere SRM6s by 10%. There's also cooldowns, which allow you to fire the weapon faster on recycle, which essentially, if it's like missiles, you're hot loading your missiles faster, stuff like that. So, if we go over to modules, and we go, hey, I want a weapon module. Every weapon module is 3 million a weapon module. 3 million C-bills. Some of the better mech modules, such as Advanced Seismic Sensor, which some people refer to as seismic wall hack. It essentially highlights people on the radar through buildings due to their mech's movement if you're standing still. Or radar deprivation, which when you move out of line of sight, the enemy instantly loses target lock on you. Capture accelerator, which speeds up the time it takes to capture a point, etc. These are 6 million each. So when it's all said and done, you're pumping multi-millions of C-bills on top of experience into mastering a mech. And it's been that way for 5 years. No. 4 years. Whatever. So PGI said, hey, we want to bring something new to the game. We want to do this expanded skill tree that was essentially kind of like the sphere grid in Final Fantasy X. And I was excited. I was really excited. I screwed around with it on their private test server. Toyed around with a couple of different builds, a couple of different ways to lay out my skills. And it felt pretty good, actually, in my opinion. And I am just one tier 2 player who's been playing this game since closed beta. In my opinion, the skill tree felt pretty good. PGI was on course to release the skill tree this, what was it? I believe it was the 21st of March, 2017. And then came the usual upheaval on the forums. There's always going to be salt when there's change, and that's understandable. And PGI has this weird habit of setting up for a big mech pack release and then announcing big balance changes. I don't know why they do this, because all it does is enable people to go, oh, well, I'll just cancel my pre-order if they don't agree. Anyways, long story short, the MechWarrior Online community threw a bitch fit. And it wasn't all of us, but there are some. Threw a bitch fit. There were a rash of, am I leaving MechWarrior Online? Am I staying on MechWarrior Online? Ah. PGI backed off. PGI has pushed back the new skill tree, indefinitely. Which the last time that this was done was power draw. Which I'll agree I didn't care for the power draw mechanic, but had PGI implemented it, I would have dealt. I find myself in a position with MechWarrior Online right now that I want to stick with this game. I have pumped over $2,500 into the game over the course of 5 years. That's a pretty heavy investment. And it's really hard to just up and walk away from such an investment. At the same time, PGI just took one of the features that I was heavily looking forward to and set it aside because a bunch of people decided that they were going to whine and cry because the balance to them didn't feel right. And I understand that balance is a big concern in MechWarrior Online. It is. We've got 2 entire factions. There's tech disparity between those factions. There's inherent balance issues with this game, and there have been since day one. And I'm talking, excuse me again, and I'm talking day one of closed beta. But we are where we are at now because of decisions that were made 5 years ago. To the MechWarrior Online player base, this is not your game. This is PGI's game. PGI has the final say as to what happens. Yes, by all means, you can vote with your wallet if you do not like a decision that PGI is making. You can whine and cry all that you want about it. But you also have to understand that at the end of the day, PGI is essentially our dungeon master. They're our game master. And what they say goes. You can call it a bad business decision all that you like. If they implement something that you don't like. But the fact that you have forced this to be pushed back, just like you've done with every single other attempt that PGI has made to major balance changes, you're stagnating the game. The game has been in this same state for almost 5 years. The biggest change that we had in recent memory was the mech rescale like half a year ago or a year ago or whatever the fuck it was. where they resized some mechs and changed some movement profiles. That was it. That's it. Some hitbox adjustments. And to PGI. Russ, you've had me blocked on Twitter since early closed beta. Well, I guess it'd be late beta, probably. I don't even remember what it was over. I remember that I had gone to you and warned you about an uprising of the player base. You then argued that it wouldn't happen. And it did at the time. It did. There was a good amount of the player base that got pissed off at you. And you blocked me from Twitter. And you know what? Your prerogative, man. But I'm going to tell you here in video form, PGI, that at this point, you got to make your own decisions, guys. You worked on this whole system, devoted resources to this system to get in and working, ran 2-3 PTS sessions on it, and now you're going to back off. I don't know what to do at this point. I don't want to walk away from this game. I don't. I'm down to 11 hours premium time. I've had premium time almost constantly since closed beta. Well, open beta. I don't know what to do. I don't. Half the player base is calling for resignation. The other half, I don't know. I just want a good Stompy Robot game, man. That's all I want. Maybe I'll get it with MechWarrior 5. At this point, I really wish you guys would add a multiplayer component to MechWarrior 5. Because I will buy the hell out of that. But as it sits right now, my desire to play MechWarrior Online is almost non-existent. I was really, really looking forward to this skill change. This skill system. It felt to me, personally, like it was going to revitalize some chassis. Yes, it was a nerf across kind of everything. But it would, at the end of the day, I felt that it would increase time to kill. I don't know the numbers. I don't. Maybe it would have. Maybe it wouldn't have. You know, I just wish that PGI would pick something and stay the course. This is like the third time that they've said that they were going to do something and then backed off because of player backlash. You know, shit, Rust. Rust, of all fucking things, has told their player base multiple times that they can go fuck themselves. And that they're going to do things the way that they want to do it. And they are still a successful game. I don't know, man. PGI, just fucking pick a goddamn direction at this point. And to the community, quit crutching. Just fucking be ready for change. It's gonna happen. You're playing a goddamn online game. What do you fucking expect's gonna happen? Of course there's gonna be massive balance changes. Of course shit's gonna fuck up your meta. Whatever, guys. You know what? Maybe I'll see you in game. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll go back to fucking playing DayZ, waiting for Friday the 13th, the video game, to come out. But as of right now, I have 11 hours, 44 minutes of premium time remaining on my account. I think that maybe I'll just hop in, eat that 11 hours up, and leave. Maybe leave until I know what's going on with the skill tree, or just not come back for a while. Maybe that's what I finally need, is just a break. I don't know. My play time is so low anymore anyway. I play maybe 10 hours a week, if that. I used to play every single day. But, I mean, I guess that's any game that you've played for 5 years, you know? You steadily reduce the amount of play on it. I'm just sad, man. I'm just sad and tired. PGI and the community need to get their shit together. Anyways, this has been Flash Frame. I'll catch you guys later. There may be some gameplay videos to come. I don't know. Till the next video, guys. See ya.